push out the Chelsea protest, please. These American owners are ruining our club. Can I just say about this? I actually wanted to touch on this. It's a great segue away from my pain. I've seen a lot of the Chelsea YouTubers talk about the Chelsea protest. A lot of international fans talk about the Chelsea protest. The amount of sort of proper Chelsea matchgoers I've seen call it out, defend Clearlake, and state that these grifters online are a massive problem. I don't know about you, but I was a little bit shocked by that. Almost like, I mean, I know some of the match-going fans are also YouTubers, like a lot of the guys we all know. Like they go.
Why are you shocked, Till? You've been on here. You've been on here long enough in Mid LB. There's a lot of people in the chat that are loving what Chelsea are doing. We get told all the time we're the toxic ones. Me and LB are just haters. We can't stand Chelsea and we're haters. I mean, they're kind of true. I can't stand Chelsea if I'm honest. But we try to give our opinion on what they still need, and their squad isn't actually as great as what they think it is. Now, last season it was Pochettino's fault. He got into a cup final in 6th. This season, it's Maresca's fault. When are they going to realise they haven't got a goalkeeper, they haven't got a striker, and their squad actually isn't that great other than Palmer, Caicedo, and maybe Gusto and a couple others? That is all they've got. And they've spent 1.5 billion. They've got really, really annoyed about it. So now a majority are saying, well, there's not really a majority. I don't know what it is. Maybe there's a minority that are saying, actually, we want this out. We want them to get out now. And they've gone around in a full circle, Chelsea. They've gone around and, oh, my God, it's a brilliant summer again. To actually, it wasn't that great. Let's protest and get them out. So, look, it's brilliant. It's funny. But, you know, me and LB sat on here and tried to tell people that Chelsea were not in the brilliant position that they thought they were in. And we were told we were losers and that we didn't know what we were talking about. So, you know, I'm kind of laughing inside, really, now.
Yeah, it's true, man. It's true. Listen, Chelsea fans, you know, they've had a go at us, hasn't it? Potsy, not all of them, but some of them had a go at us. They said, everything is fine at the bridge. Oh, cool then, isn't it? No worries. What is it? 2 wins in 10 now? Something like that. Yeah, I mean, holding 3 against Brighton. Yeah, listen, if everything's cool at your club, fine by me. I'm not a Chelsea fan. I don't care. You know what I mean? I don't really have a rivalry with Chelsea. Obviously, I'm not from London, like Potsy and that. So I don't care. If everything's cool at Chelsea, you're happy with the owners, cool. Good. Happy days. Let's move on. Yeah. But for the people that, you know, actually support Chelsea who want them to start winning trophies again, who are not liking what the owners are doing and have the same issues that me and Potsy have raised from an, you know, outside perspective, then I'm very sorry that things are going like this for you guys, man, because it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy how you spend 1.5 billion pounds and have that squad. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy, man. 1.5 billion. And that's the squad they've got. Jorgensen in net. Sanchez in net. Oh my day! Honestly, I can't believe it, man. I can't believe they spent 1.5 million. I actually
think that Petrovic and Kepa are better than these 2 goalkeepers. Real talk, and I think Kepa's horrendous.
I agree.
I actually think they're both better than these 2 goalkeepers.
Not Jorgensen, because I've not really seen that guy, so I can't really comment on him. But
I've seen enough, man. I've seen enough.
Robert Sanchez, man, horrendous, bro. But like, you know what? You know what's crazy about this situation, Potsy? Yeah, is if I owned a football club, right, or if I was like a sporting director or manager, or whatever, and like I had a squad. The 2 main positions that I'm making sure, I'm getting like the legit guys is 100%. The goalkeeper
and the
striker. It's literally the 2 main positions in the team that I would make sure that I've got the best I can afford, the best I can get. Yeah, it's a goalkeeper and then the striker. Right, then you go for centre back, centre mid, attacking.
Bro,
I'm like, bro, Dad, you got Jackson up front. Yeah, he is not a striker. Yeah, I don't know whether he's a backup striker, an inverted forward, a wing, or whatever. I don't know, but he ain't good enough to be a striker. And the goalkeeping situation is embarrassing. And the fact that he's only just dropped this Sanchez guy as well. You know what I mean? After we've been calling it out all year, it's got to February. Honestly, man, I've got serious questions about some of these managers.
And when your Chelsea fans say, "Oh, we just need to spend more money," like you must hate your ownership then because they've spent money, but look at what they've spent it on. Like, you can't just say we need to spend more money. Yeah, they do. That's correct. That's absolutely the right thing to say. You need to spend more money. You've got to be pissed off with your ownership then. You spent 1.5 billion and look at the state of it. You've not got a goalkeeper. Yeah. You've not got a centre-half partnership that looks anywhere near good enough, in my opinion. This Colwell is not going to be a John Terry. I'm sorry to spoil it to you guys. I know you'd like him to be, but he is nowhere near good enough. You know, when people say, we might have our next John Terry coming through. My God, I've seen this Colwell enough. He is not going to be a John Terry.
I clocked it at Brighton, man. I knew when a guy was at Brighton.
He wasn't good. He was all right. He was all right. It was okay. It wasn't going to be next level, man, this guy. And they've realised that now. This tossing guy come in as a backup. He's not been good enough to start. Badiashile, that's a joke. You've obviously got Fofana, who we all rate, but he's never, ever fit enough. Likewise, Reece James. And then you look at Lavia, and he's kind of like that, man. I'm a fan of Lavia. I'm a big fan. And I think Chelsea's midfield, when it's there, is good enough. But Lavia, Palmer, and Caicedo is good, but Lavia's never fit. And this Enzo guy, by the way, that was £105 million. What a waste of money that is. I mean, this guy is nowhere near good enough. 105 million LB. What are we saying, man?
Bro.
Seriously, bro.
It's mad as well because some of them try and justify it as well. You know what I mean? Like, that's just not really worked out, man. Like, their hit rate is horrendous. And the problem they've got is, you said it a minute ago, they need to spend more money, which is crazy given the fact they spent £1.5 billion, guys. Yeah. However, they actually do need to spend more money. The problem is, do you trust these guys to spend the money and get the right players? Because I wouldn't if I was a Chelsea fan. I wouldn't be sitting there going, yeah, all right. If they come out and said, listen, lads, we've got 200 million to sort it out, I'll be like, don't you be touching this, mate. They're like, get someone else to sort it out, mate, because their judgment is really, really bad. Really, really bad, man. So, listen, Maresca, I've seen this guy get cooked a few times. I don't know why he's getting cooked. I'll tell you why I don't know why he's getting cooked. Because he's a young manager. This was always going to happen. Chelsea have decided to go down the same road that Arsenal have done with Arteta. Young manager, inexperienced, will hold his hand. And that's what happened. And you remember, was it the first season, Potsy, or second season, where Arteta won no games in 13 or something? And there was real talks about him getting sacked and he managed to turn it around. That happens. I'll tell you what happens. Because he's an inexperienced manager, he gets stuff wrong and he don't know how to turn it around. Eventually, they manage to turn it around, but you're going to have to hold his hand. So Chelsea have decided to go down this phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4 approach with Maresca because he's a young manager, with not a lot of experience. And he's going to get stuff wrong. He's going to get a lot of stuff wrong, and he might take a while to realise he's got the stuff wrong. So they're going to have to chill in it and just, big up. All I'd say is if he was a Chelsea fan, strap in, mate, because you're going to go down the same road as Arsenal. You're going to be there 2-3 years time.
Into us, man.
They are literally Arsenal 2.0 right now with a couple of Champions Leagues. That's what they are. That's what they are, man.
It's crazy, bro.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
I don't understand it. And there's some people that believe this squad is quality. Like Don thinks this squad is quality. It's a good enough squad, but he's blamed Poch. He's blamed Maresca. I don't think the squad is good enough. I don't think it is. I don't think the squad's good enough. You can't compare the squad to Liverpool's. You can't do that, in my opinion. It's crazy to me. Half these players that we're trying to compare to Liverpool, they haven't won what Liverpool have won together as a team. It's just crazy for me to think that. But
bro, if you would have given me £1.5 billion to spend,
I could have done a better job. Yeah, I could have done a better job.
I swear down, I would have done a better job. I swear down. Honestly, man, I promise you, I would have had Chelsea winning Premier Leagues, competing in the Champions League again. You wouldn't have had Maresca as your manager. You would have a top draw manager, and you'd be competing again. 1.5 billion, and it still needs another 300-400 million spending on it. That's wild, bro.
Yeah, I'm just reading some of these quote tweets from these protests, and this is a guy called Reece here says, pathetic, absolutely pathetic. Terrace here says, what are we even protesting? Genuinely, we're fourth and in the top 4 race. There's nothing wrong. Protesting whilst being in the top 4 race is a shambles. This is arguably the biggest Chelsea content creators on YouTube are promoting this garbage. It's so poor to see. No real Chelsea fan wants these protests, only these online grifters.
So can I ask you a question? What is the protest actually for then? What is the message of the protest?
Get Clear Lake out, I suppose.
Yeah, I think it's about Clear Lake and the guy is not doing a good enough job, essentially. And I think it is, and this is what's crazy, right?
So what's wrong about that?
Do you know what's crazy? Is as a United fan, we suffered this. How can you hate the Glazers? You spent over £1 billion on players. No. We wasted over £1 billion on not the right players for not the right managers in not the right system. Yet some fucking idiots want to do that again. And that's what they're protesting. And they should now be... I agree with a bit what you guys say. For me, this Chelsea team just needs 3 or 4 stars now. That's what they've got to go and do. I thought they would have started that process this January. Let's see what happens this summer. I think where Chelsea fans should panic is come this summer. If they don't sign, and it doesn't need to be these individuals, but if they don't go and sign an Osimhen, if they don't go and sign a top-class midfielder, if they don't go and sign a top centre-back, if they don't go and get a worldie of a goalkeeper, if it's all just young players, more toss-ins, more Kieran Dewsbury-Halls, maybe, let's take a punt on a Jadon Sancho, which, by the way, doesn't appear to be working now. Their legends like Obi Mikel are absolute. I don't know. Did you see what Obi Mikel said yesterday?
Oh no, on his own podcast. He's got a podcast, hasn't he? What's
Yeah, he
saying?
basically turned around and said we thought we were getting the Dortmund Sancho, but he frauded us. He's not good enough. He's rubbish, basically. Just absolutely went in
wasn't
on
he
him.
not? He was like that at United, no?
Yeah, but this is the point I'm making. I think they this summer can't be about let's do a Garnacho. Let's do another Dewsbury Hall. Let's do another toss-in. It has to be we're going to go out there and buy the best available centre-back in the Premier League. You're not going to get that from any of the top teams now, but maybe you go and take can we get someone off Newcastle? Probably not now, if we're being honest. Can you get a top player? Can you go to Europe and buy a star? Because that's what Chelsea need now. You add 4 or 5 stars to this squad, and I think it's a completely different looking Chelsea. But what I've also seen is when the title race talk came on, that's when a lot of players have shrunk. And I think that's a bad thing in the moment, good thing long term. You know what players are going to shrink. I think Chelsea fans know about Jackson now. Jackson is a good squad player. He is never going to be the main guy to lead your line. As soon as that as soon as that title talk started, the man weren't up to it. As soon as that pressure was put on top, and this is what I would say to Chelsea fans, which players do you think have stood up in this last 11 games? They're the ones you want to build around and keep. Everybody else is a squad player for now and gone in the future as you buy more. The problem is, and this is a lot of Chelsea fans I've spoken to, their concern is they don't think that they're going to move some of those players on and then go and buy established stars. It's going to be sell these guys for a 10, 20, 30 million pound profit and then buy more players they can sell for profit. And if that's the business model, I'll be honest, if that turns out to be true, I agree with the Chelsea fans protesting. How do you expect to get to the top? And again, it's not a dig at City. This is a compliment. The squad fell off a bit this year. They lost some players to injury. They didn't go, right, let's just go out and buy a load of kids. Yes, Heiss is young, but Mamouche's experience as an example. Nico Gonzalez, he's not old, but he's not a fledgling that's had no games. They've gone out and bought established players, and I think in the summer you'll see even more of that. Chelsea have got to do the same. If that's what the most successful team of the last decade is doing, the only team ever in English football history to do a 4P, the second team in English football history to do a treble with one of the greatest managers in the history of football. If that's their approach, Chelsea are at that point now. They've got some good players. Go out and break the bank again. You're going to have to. Everybody does. Everybody spends money and buy quality players. I have the same message for Arsenal, so I'm not, and my club when my club is in that situation. But Arsenal this summer, got to go out and buy 3 or 4 quality players. Zubimendi, Victor Gyökeres, you're away, and maybe somebody else. You can't be doing this. Oh, we're going to sign this player that's been broken for 2 years at this club and see if we can fix him. Let's go and sign this youngster from Portugal no one's heard of and see if we can turn him into a star. Your teams ain't in that position. You're not in that position, I don't think. I don't know. I can't understand why Chelsea fans are angry at other Chelsea fans demanding more for your club. I don't see the problem, personally.
I think it's wild. I think Chelsea fans have every right to protest because the way that club's been run since they bought it, it's a joke. So I don't really understand why people are having a go at these Chelsea fans that are protesting. Obviously, I don't know the full ins and outs on the protest itself, but it seems to me off the face of it that it's completely legitimate. Completely legitimate. I'm not being funny here, but when you spend 1.5 billion and you fifth, sixth, or whatever, and you still need a goalkeeper, you still need a striker, you still need 2 defenders, you still need a wing or whatever, and your manager is he's well young and without experience. Like you've got questions, legit questions.
No, there certainly is. Chelsea fans, give us your thoughts on that.